Chuggalos, greetings and welcome to episode 294 of the Brew Crew podcast. I'm your host, Matt. As you can see, I'm going solo today. JT is off protecting the planet Earth from aliens. He right now is probably loading up a bandolier of plasma energy to put into a rifle to protect the Chuggalos and all of our Chuggalo friends and family from would-be aliens that want to either assimilate or destroy our culture and our race. The important thing to know is JT gave me his blessing because I put on the Facebook yesterday. If you don't follow us on Facebook, please go follow us at Brew Crew Podcast to get all the updates, because that's how we update everyone, that I was going to be dropping an episode today. So if the world ends and I get this uploaded, we will have episode 294 of the Brew Crew Podcast. And I want to get into my first beer because I'm going to go a little bit behind the scenes after this because I've had some excitement. So if I see you on edge, I'm going to explain why I'm anxious. I'm going to explain why things are crazy around here today. All right. So my first beer, which I've wanted to do and I've alluded to, is Mobcraft Fish Fry Rye. It's a 5% lager with caraway seeds. Fish fry is a staple of Wisconsin. Mobcraft from the greater Milwaukee area. Got some cleverness there. The second can art I'm really excited for. It's got a really unique feature on it. But I have to go with the crack. And then I'm going to go with a little bit behind the scenes. Give you, the Chuggalo, a little bit of detail. I'm not even going to count it down. I'm just excited. I wasn't excited for a drink until this is the fourth time I've hit the record button. I've never hit it more than twice until today. Oh, that is truly refreshing. Now, you, the Chuggalo, I hope you're asking, Matt, why did you have to hit the record button 4 times? The first time, I fumbled the entry. I had this big, long, winding tail, and I completely fumbled it. The second time, the phone rang. And it was, you can see the blinking red light, look at it a little behind. So the phone rang, and of course they left a message. So I couldn't drown it out with sounds. I did try, and my microphone was picking it up. Couldn't hear it. So I was like, all right, third time's going to be the charm. So I started up on the third time, and I forgot that I was supposed to thaw meat out, which I was supposed to do, because behind the scenes, worked a full day. We're recording a little bit later. JT and I deconflicted so he could protect the planet from aliens. I wasn't going to be my week for beer, so I had a dentist appointment. Went to the dentist. Why did dentist appointment? All they're doing is cleaning. 45 minutes. Boom, boom. Like, it's crazy, right? So then get home. I have to grab beer. I have no clue. I have nothing prepped on the notes because it was going to be JT's week. And so quickly did that. And this is where I went wrong. Out of all of that stuff that happened, I was like, you know what? Self? A coworker just called. I should log into my email and see what's going on. Holy buckets. Since I had left work an hour and a half ago, just emails galore. Just things that have to get done. So I was like, you know what? I need to get this done because I promised you, the Chuggalos. Then I will get to that and, cooking dinner and all that. So I'm going to sneak this one in. So if I seem anxious or an edge a little bit, that you got a little bit something extra here on 294. So again, fish fry, 5% lager. Bought this specifically for the podcast. One was gone because this last weekend, beer related, my wife's cousins, who I officiated their marriage a few years ago, they decided to come visit for the weekend, and was one amazing weekend of just letting the kids mingle. 4 kids under the age of 8. Great weather, even better conversation, and the best company that you could have. Just amazing. Everything is so easy, between meals and just like, taking care, looking at each other, worrying about mental health, just having conversations, just real easy conversations. And it's true about what they say that may not have existed in generations before, but this is just one of Matt's where friends become family and family become friends. Like there's a switch in that. Like people now are more to the point where if something bothers them, they're not going to keep doing it. They're not going to be Sisyphus and keep pushing that rock up that hill. Rather, they're going to spend their time, energy, money, if you will, on the people that reciprocate similar feelings and similar admiration for each other, rather than, hey, I'm going to go to crazy Aunt, Berta's house and just be miserable for any length of time. So awesome. Just an awesome weekend upon reflection. And it was a holiday weekend, so we got, an extra day with each other. All right. Soapbox. Let's check out Mobcraft's website. So let's turn this off. Boom. Love this. Mobcraft, the first complaint that I had about their website was it made me put in their date. So I got to that point. Year-round beers, crowdsourced. I haven't checked this out, but I love just this. Simple. Like, doesn't that just make you thirsty? I know it does for me. All right. Tap rooms, Milwaukee, Woodstock. Submit a beer recipe. What? Okay, so let's vote on crowdsourced beers. I haven't had this. Vote on what we brew next. Look at that. All of these crowdsourced beers. Holy buckets. And you know something that's striking? There's a couple, which is awesome. There's a couple of females on here. Twist and Shout and You Macchiato, My Dreams Come True. That's awesome. And then crowdsourced winners. I should do a little bit. You Macchiato. Oh, so she won. Pre-order now. And look at that. This is something they've been doing for a long time, it looks like. That is awesome. Shop, my account, our beers, find our beer, solid, sour, wow, and wild program. But it doesn't have much about them. I want to know about you guys, Mobcraft. I've had your guys' beer before, of course, Milwaukee. Right in the heart of Milwaukee, beer at Mobcraft. Interesting. Well, I think that's interesting on the crowdsourced beer. Submit a beer recipe. I should get JT to submit a beer recipe. We can't do Ohio style, but we'll come up with one. What? Interesting. It doesn't give the actual recipe, but I'm wondering if they just brew it there. What an interesting gimmick. Two good gimmicks today. One is on the other side of the can. So caraway seeds, typical in breads, gives like a earthiness. I know caraway seeds are right there. People are going to be screaming at the YouTubes going over this. I'm already halfway done with this can. It is delightful. I don't know if I really get the fish fry aspect of it. I don't know if the fish fry is setting the table for when this beer should be drank. The caraway seeds stick around for a little bit and give it a little bit of legs in the beer. But look at all those earth tones. That's a typical braised cabbage, cod, walleye, perch. You got your marble rye bread. I noticed that. What an interesting gimmicked beer. I enjoy this beer. I'm going to reset the camera a little bit because my autofocus is goofy. Off the top rope. I like the meaning behind this beer more than anything. The lager, the most memorable thing about this beer is what it stands for, not the actual beer itself. So I'm going to take that a little bit. It's a great gimmick. It's just not an exceptional beer. Off the top rope, I'm going to give it a 4.0. It's super drinkable. I think that this could pair well for individuals that like ancient lagers. Expect that like beer taste. There's no pussyfooting around with this beer. Like it is, hey, I'm a lager. I'm not a light lager. I'm going to give you that robust taste that you've drank for the last 30 or 40 years after you got done with your shift. being a linesman or working on a factory or getting in from the dairy farm, getting in from milking the cows or baling hay. I wish I could have like my papa or my grandpa have this beer and just sit there and see what they think. This is just one of those that elicits that opportunity that is missing from me, because all of those individuals that are in their 80s or 90s are so far away from me. But I think I could sneak like an Old Mill or a Schlitz or something out of their rotation where they keep their beers in the ice box and see what they would think from this. I think it would go over well. It'll be interesting. The young whippersnappers I know, the Chuggalo Todd, the Chuggalo Dave. It'd be interesting to see what they think because there's no fruity gimmicks on this. It's not a stout or whatever. It'd be pleasing to their palates, I would bet. I bet they would like it. So there'll be a couple of these waiting the next time you guys come around. Awesome. Okay, beer number 2. That's what you call a transition in the business. This one's got can gimmicks. So anyways, this is from Well Crafted Beer Company. This comes from Lansford, Pennsylvania, and it's Hop Monger. Pretty common name. And it's a hazy India Pale Ale, 7.1%. I'm going to have to just, do that real quick. And the nice thing about this is it's got directions on the can. Scan me. So if I do that right now, I did it before because I was like, well, I don't want to do it on camera and see that, it's naked ladies or something like that. I get banned by YouTube. So I'm just going to scan. I don't like this. I don't like at restaurants. I guess I'm old where I want my, I want a tactile menu. I don't want to have to flip through my phone. And I think it's not because of my eyesight thing. I want it there instead of like scrolling through my phone. It's really nice that you get all the information about the beer, the same chart that's on the can, pairings, how to get it, and look at that and pick up. That's clever. Put the information on your can. So I just said I don't like the menu, or like they print out the little piece of paper. You guys have all been there, where they print out the little piece of paper and they want you to do that. I know it was popular during COVID. I understand why that existed. Does anyone get COVID anymore? Is that a thing going around? That's going to be a little inside pool. But the other thing, it's got the Pennsylvania State UPC. I'm not doing the art. I'm just doing the gimmicks on the can. And on the origin story on the website, and we'll check out the website here. The origin story is on the can, and it says, in 2007, we started homebrewing with well water. Today, we condition water to make the best brews for you. And Ambler, I said Lansdale. It's actually from Ambler, Pennsylvania. And the reason this came from Pennsylvania is that's where my cousins live. So I'm excited to get to this beer. Even though it's a hazy, they brought a couple of beers. Let's go to About. Check that out. I like the splash screen. Mobcraft is better. Well-conditioned water. Today we condition our water. And look at that. Well Crafted began with our friends at Rochester Institute of Technology, a nerdy tech college in upstate New York. 99, so very similar. Peers of mine and JT's. We moved to suburban Philadelphia, 2007. Love that. Okay, so I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Locations, three different locations. Booter food merch to go at Lansdale. Oh, to go stuff. That's awesome. Our beer year-round. So Hop Monger looks like their flagship. They put it at the front. Lil Monger is probably their light. They got a Whippa. I'd be down with that. Sorry, Stacy. Look at that. Double Hop Monger in variety packs. I like that. I would be remiss if my cousin Mike didn't tell me that buying alcohol in Pennsylvania is a pain in the ass. One place sells beer, one place sells liquor, one place, so you have to go to multiple different places, to the point that they drive to Delaware where the liquor stores make sense. They don't like buying in Pennsylvania. I'm not very familiar with the blue laws in Pennsylvania, but that sounds like a gigantic hassle if I'm going to drive to another state. Now, we do it here to go get bourbon, but it's not to say that bourbon's not available. It's just a much larger selection. It's the world's largest liquor store just over the border in Kentucky. So it's always picking scenarios. But anyways, back to this beer. 7.1% hazy IPA. It's an easy drinking beer. Comes in that signature pint can. It's got some the hop signature or the fleur-de-lis that the beer is like through the mid. There's something off. Not like Bat Squatch off, not Jim Klein, not Rogue, but something like the pairing is off. It's not bitterness, it's just something not appealing to this podcaster. I am looking for that money, that money. I don't know. It's just something. Well, it is an easy drinker. You don't get the alcohol or whatever. There's something, and maybe this is their flagship beer. I'm guessing just because of how it's listed on the website. But something seems just a little bit amiss or different. I can say this unequivocally. It's not appealing. I don't know if I would go after this beer again if it didn't exist in my own fridge and it was a gift. The gift of this beer and the fact that it was brought from the other side of Pennsylvania is the most exceptional thing about this beer. I'm trying to find it right now. Okay, there we go. I'm trying to see if there's something else in it. Our crowd favorite double dry hop with Citra, Simcoe, Mosaic, and Amarillo. I'm very familiar with all those. Beautiful pungent notes of peach ring candy. I don't get that. Meyer lemon, champagne, mango, and a hint of pine sap. All those things, but we've had peach ring beers before. That seems like to be an up and coming, but that's notes. It's not, I don't think by any means somebody macerated a bunch of peach ring candy and put it into this beer. It says, the description says all of the right things. Meyer lemon, maybe it's more the rind of it in these situations. Champagne mango. Things these are very high flighty buzzwords that just don't come into the can. All right. Off the top rope, it's growing on me a little bit. I'm vacillating between two different scores. I definitely think that this is a one-off. And it's okay for beers to be a one-off because there's a lot of beers and not a lot of time to drink in the world. So if you spend too much time on one, you are cheating yourself out of the opportunity to find that next two levies, that next five, and to tell all your friends and to hit the record button and tell them about it. Off the top rope, I'm going to give this a 3.75. As I'm getting through the middle part of the can and into the rest of the can, it's growing on me a little bit. I was vacillating. I was definitely in the threes. I was never going to be in the fours by any means. But this is growing on me. I'm interested. You've piqued my interest a little bit. Well crafted. I don't know for Asheville level yet for a beer destination, but. And speaking of beer destinations, mark your calendars for the 8th of November, 2024. It's a Friday at 11 o'clock at the Barrel House. We will be building our 2024 Advent calendar. this is your personal invitation from me, and I'm going to be starting. It was another thing I was going to start at the beginning of the podcast, and I didn't get to it. But to join us this year at the Barrel House as we build our 2024 Advent calendar. Now, just meeting us there on November 8th isn't enough. I need to know by October 25th if you intend on getting an Advent calendar. This allows Sarah and the staff at Barrel House to order a vast array of tasty treats, 24 of them to be specific, for our Advent calendar. And I'm guessing the more participation we get, the more exclusive both their tap offerings will be, because they have an impeccable taste when it comes to curating their tap list and making sure that there's for sure some bangers on their tap list, but making sure that we have those packaged beers too, because that's when the distributor needs their orders in by. So if you could do us a favor, those are the 2 dates. By October 25th, please let JT or myself know if you're going to participate in this year's Advent calendar. And then, number 2, please come and join us at the 2024 building of the Advent calendar, which is the 8th of November, Friday, November 8th at 11 a.m. I will be providing food. In years past, our fun is truncated by the amount of space that we have. We load up stuff, but also I feel like if we draw it out a little bit more and get some calories into us, we're going to be able to partake, indulge, speculate more, and spend more time with our friends Sarah and Matt, and potentially Maya this year. I think Maya said she's working it too. So again, October 25th, please let us know by then. You can let us know ahead of time your intention to build an Advent calendar. Come join us November 8th, Barrel House, Dayton, Ohio, 11 a.m. We're going to open up the place. We're going to get our choice seats. We're going to watch as Sarah starts putting stuff to work. We're going to be entertained by Matt. We're going to be heralded by Maya as we keep running stuff up and we keep picking stuff off the shelves to have it chilled and to consume it while our calendars are being built. But that's it for episode 294. What a ride it's been. I only had to hit the button 4 times, and the 4th time was the charm. Get out of here with that 3 times the charm. 4, take that extra one. Really reflect so you can bloviate on all that is well in the world. But that's it for today's episode, and we'll see you when we see you. Cheers.